I would like to introduce you today to Melissa from Ecoventura.
Hi, everyone.
This is a little bit different than what we usually do. We know that most of you are extremely dive focused, and we've the last few months that we've been, primarily looking at underwater. However, I'm a strong believer that most divers are very much into nature. Just because we love our diving doesn't mean we can't appreciate all that topside holds for us as well. And if there was ever to do a land focused trip, I think it has to be the Galapagos Islands. And this is just a fantastic and unique way to do it. This is something that would definitely be a standalone trip if you're not a diver. Or you're looking to take a break from diving, or if it's something where you wanted to do liverboard focused for your diving for a week, and then you wanted to really get into the land side of Galapagos, you could do that too as back-to-back charters for a really phenomenal couple of weeks. So without further ado, I am going to hand you over to Melissa.
Thank you, Cheryl. Well, very glad that you all are here. And I'm gonna first introduce you to the vessels, show you a few images and explain a bit of our operation. And then I'll go through the islands we visit in the Galapagos and the activities we do and the species you will see. So Ecoventura is a company based in Guayaquil and Quito. We also have an office in Miami. Our sales office is based there. We have 2 luxury vessels, the Origin and the Theory, and the Evolve, which is being built at the moment. It was supposed to go underwater next year in March, but due to the situation the world is going through at the moment, we had to stop. And now, if everything goes well, it should be in the Galapagos in September, October of next year. So that would be our 3rd luxury vessel. So the Origin and the Theory are two luxury vessels that have the certification from Relais, which is a French association. And they both have 10 cabins for 20 people in total. We have 13 crew members on board for all 20 guests. And all cabins are located on the same deck. They all are the same size. They all can be, they all have either two beds or 1 king size bed, 2 double beds or 1 king size bed. We also have the option of turning 4 cabins on board into triples. And we also have interconnecting cabins, as you can see in this photo. Actually, yeah, there you go, that's better. Yes, as I was saying, we have 4 cabins on board that can be converted into triples and are interconnected. And also for charters, we offer the service, which is a VIP service, into turning one cabin into a suite, and the cabin next door, it's either a king size bed or 2 twin beds. This is just a photo of the bathrooms. We have big panoramic windows everywhere around the vessel, in the dining area, in the living room, in all cabins, and even in the showers, as you can see here. So now I'm going to talk about the dining area. As you can see, the big panoramic windows are here. So we offer breakfast and lunch buffet style, which is included, and dinner is served a la carte. This is the photo of the living area, and this is the bar. We offer on board Origin and Theory an open bar policy. So all alcoholic beverages are included, as well as soft beverages or tea, coffee, juices. And the only thing that we don't include in the open bar policy is just a short list of specific bottles of wine or other type of alcoholic drinks. So this is the sun deck. We have a jacuzzi on board, as well a bar, a wet bar. Beautiful big space, as you can see. And we also have a gym on board, gym and a small library with books from all over the world. So this is just a bit of the food that we serve on board. And now I'm going to talk to you about the activities. What we offer on board, basically, it's the hikings all over the islands. We have 2 guides on board. What we do is that we separate the group of 20 people into 2 groups of 10 people. So one guide goes with one group and the other one with the other one. And then we also have kayaking and paddleboard on board. We also have snorkeling, and we give you the snorkeling equipment for free. So we provide with the wetsuits, the fins, and the goggles. Now, on the itinerary, so basically, how do you get to the Galapagos? I'm not sure if everyone knows this, but there are 2 flights that go to the Galapagos Islands, which are, and we work with Avianca. So basically every Sunday, which are the days that we have our departures, the flight goes into San Cristobal Island, and then your guests will get our guides will go to the airport. They will take the guests to the vessel, and then they'll start their week, and then they will finish the next Sunday, and then they will again go to the airport. They will take them to the airport, and then they will go back home, either to Quito or Guayaquil. So there are 2 airports in the Galapagos, one that is located in Baltra and another one that is located in San Cristobal. Our operation starts and finishes in San Cristobal, and it lasts 8 days and 7 nights. We offer 2 itineraries on board, which are the itinerary A, which go through the northern western islands, and the itinerary B, which goes through the southern eastern islands. I'm going to talk about each itinerary in just a second, just to go through both of them properly. And now I'm going to show you just a 1-minute video so that you have an idea of what really the vessel is like inside, with people, with guests, as well as the activities. And cool. So that was just the vessels. So far, if anyone have any questions?
I think everybody's muted right now, Melissa, in case it takes your bandwidth down. If anybody does have any questions, feel free to pop them in the Q&A box or the chat box. Typically at the end, we'll open it up if you want to talk to Melissa directly. So if you want to save your questions that way. But if you do have anything in the meantime that you think about while you're watching the presentation, please feel free to type it in the chat or the Q&A box.
All right, so itinerary A, we go through the southern central route. As I said before, both itineraries are 8 days and 7 nights. And on this itinerary, look, I always get the question, which itinerary is better, or am I gonna get to see more in one itinerary than the other? But realistically, they're both amazing itineraries. You will see the same in both of them. And yes, well, in my opinion, you have to visit the Galapagos Islands on a cruise because you get to see specific places that other people don't have access to if you don't do it by cruising. So in itinerary, we start with San Cristobal. It's just a beautiful place with turquoise water, white sand beaches. You get Kicker's Rock, which is right there on the background. You get to see you get to do kayaking and paddleboarding there. We also take our guests in Zodiac rides. So we go to like specific areas where we're not allowed to do snorkeling, or we're not allowed to take the kayaks or the paddleboards, but we want to make sure that our guests get to see the penguins or different bird species that are like hiding on like rocks or places like that. And we take them there so that they can see as close as possible these animals. So you get a bit of everything in the islands. You get the dry, scenery, and then you get water, and then you get the beach. You get the volcanic type of like soil, different contrasts. You get to see the albatross in Española Island. That's the second island we visit. And this is it's a beautiful bird. This bird you get to see on itinerary A. You won't be able to see it on itinerary B. I'm not gonna lie. Typical, the sea lions are everywhere. You will see them everywhere. You'll probably be tired of them at the end of the itinerary, at the end of your trip. You'll see dolphins, whales, rays, mantas. You get to do a lot of snorkeling as well, swim with the sea lions, heaps of sea turtles. And then we visit Floriana. Floriana is one of my favorite islands. It's a very beautiful place. You get to see mangroves. As I said before, you get a bit of everything in the Galapagos. This is a perfect example of what we do with the Zodiac rides. So we try to take the guests as close as possible to all the areas so that they don't miss out on anything. And you will also get to see penguins in Floriana. Then we visit Santa Cruz and we go to the highland, so that you get to see the giant tortoises, which are very famous in the Galapagos and are endemic from the islands. On Fridays on itinerary A, you will go to Bartolomé Island, which has the Pinnacle Rock. It's a very famous spot to take photos, to see like the whole scenery. You get to see the ocean, and sometimes people tell me that they feel like they have gotten out of this world, like they feel like they are in Mars every time they visit this island, because it's dry, there's not much vegetation, but it just looks, it's something very different to what you will be used to see around during your trip. This is South Plazas. The cactuses there have a really beautiful green, red, orangey color, as well as the plants that will be surrounding them. So it's very different. You'll see so much, many colors, many Yeah, many things. This is another photo. This is one of my favorites too. It gives you like a bit of an idea of the contrast you'll be able to experience. And that's itinerary A, which goes through the southern and central route of the Galapagos. And now I'm gonna quickly show you now the itinerary B. This right here is a red-footed booby. You'll see red-footed boobies everywhere too. So we'll start with Genovesa Island, where we'll start with the hiking. Hikings usually last between 2 hours, an hour and a half, 2 hours. Then you'll go back to the vessel and have a snack. All snacks are provided. They are free. Everything is included in the package or in the cruise. This right here is a Nazca booby. You'll get to see the Galapagos flamingos as well. And then you will visit Santa Cruz. We'll go for walks at the beach. Sometimes if you want to get into the water, you are allowed to do that as well. Not only when you do snorkeling, it's when you'll be in the water. You can easily, if you wish, when we go for walks on the beach, and if you want, you can get into the water as well. Then we visit Isabela. And then we'll keep going with Fernandina. That right there, it's a frigate bird. You also see thousands of marine iguanas. You'll do lots and lots of snorkeling as well. That's Rábida. I picked this photo. You'll visit Rábida on Friday, and I picked this photo because it shows you the color of the sand. It's like a dark red. It's a really beautiful place. You'll be able to do a hiking here and also on the beach, and then you'll also do a snorkeling. This is Santiago Island, volcanic land everywhere. And then you'll end on Saturday in Santa Cruz, visiting the giant turtles or tortoises. That would be itinerary B. Yeah, so that was basically origin in theory and the Galapagos and the places that we visit. So Cheryl or Carrie, I don't know if you have, now we can keep going with the questions.
Sure, sorry, I couldn't get my mute.
That's okay.
I'm here.
Should I stop sharing my screen? There you go.
Yeah, okay. Does anybody have any questions? If you do, in the chat box, you can put your hand up and we can unmute you. Or if you have anything in the Q&A, if you're shy, you can just type it or put it in the Q&A box. One thing to kind of bear in mind, guys, not everybody knows this about the Galapagos Islands. When it comes to going out onto the islands, I mean, you can certainly do land-based, both diving and land tours, but there's certain islands that you're just not going to reach. You have to be on a liveaboard, and those islands tend to be the ones that really put Galapagos on the map for divers and nature lovers. The other thing to bear in mind here is that, you know, if you're on a liveaboard for diving, you might be able to take a short tour on one island briefly to see something like the Darwin Research Station, but you can't stop at every island and do these land tours as part of a diving liveaboard. You either have to do a diving focused liveaboard or you have to do a land-based focused liveaboard, which is why we're saying it would be a great combo to do for 2 weeks if you don't want to give up your week of diving. So that's kind of something to bear in mind and why we wanted to share this with you, and are talking about it being a great 1-2 or a standalone if, God forbid, you're not going diving for a week. Melissa, I have a question. You showed a couple of pictures. You showed a little bit. How much, because you mentioned whales, dolphins, turtles, how much is somebody on one of your trips allowed in the water on snorkel gear with that different type of marine life?
Sorry, can you just reply? Sorry.
Okay. So like if you see
the very last part.
Yeah, if you see whales, can you actually get in the water with them, or dolphins, or is everything watching from the boat?
So actually just last week, we had at around 6:30 or 7 a.m. 150, a pot of dolphins, of 150 dolphins. And the guides told everybody to get ready, just don't even have breakfast, just get your stuff, just go. And they all went on the Zodiacs, and they went to see the dolphins. They were super close. I don't think you'll be allowed to jump in the water, because Galapagos, when you do these visits, right, there are specific places where you can actually get in the water, and there are other places that you can't.
Okay.
So, yeah, it would really depend on where you are. Maybe you can, like, I don't know, the guides could potentially tell you, yeah, go for it, go jump, go, and you'll put your snorkeling gear and yeah, but sometimes in different places they might not allow you to do it, because the Galapagos has very strict regulations.
Right.
You can jump into water in specific places, you can go hiking in specific places, and so on, and do the activities in.
Right. So that's all part of the protection and conservation.
You could do it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Loretta, you have a question. I'm not sure if you're unmuted or not.
Her microphone's still in.
Yeah, red. Loretta, you're unmuted our end, so I don't know if you.
Hello.
There you go.
Okay, so I was just curious about what are the particular flight patterns from Cleveland to the Galapagos? And just an estimate of maybe even how much flight time do you think it would take?
Well, yeah, go ahead, Melissa.
No, from Cleveland, you said?
Yes.
Well, you'll have to stop in Ecuador. It's okay, I have 2 dogs too. Okay, so yeah, you'll have to come to mainland Ecuador first. We really recommend that you stay 1 night in mainland Ecuador, and then you travel to the Galapagos. From Guayaquil to San Cristobal, I think it's like 1.5 hours. And Quito, and if you stay in Quito, you'll have to stop in Guayaquil, and then from Guayaquil, you'll go to San Cristobal. From Cleveland, there are no direct flights to Galapagos, really. You always have to stop in Ecuador, mainland Ecuador, yes. I'm not sure if that answers your question.
It does. And so you would actually help to facilitate a hotel in Ecuador also?
Yes. We take care of everything. And even if you, if your guests wish to do some exploring in mainland Ecuador, like going around Quito, visiting its surroundings, or even in Guayaquil, we can also arrange that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if there are any other questions. So the wetsuits you use, because the water temperature is generally a little cold in the Galapagos. So
we have, the temperature goes just a little bit down between May and November. And our wetsuits are 3 millimeters, and they are all full, they cover you completely. Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't really get cold. I would say it's fresh. I'm a person that gets cold really easy, I swear. But for me, no, I don't think it gets cold.
Okay. I know there's a diving the Galapagos, and that could be, you said it could be added on to this particular tour?
Yes. So basically, not while you are on board Origin or Theory, not really, but after you could do it. So you would do a back-to-back trip. So you can do either the diving boat first and then Origin or Theory, or vice versa.
Okay.
But we can certainly arrange that for you too.
Okay. All right. That's all I have for now. Thank you.
Okay, no worries. Thank you.
Melissa, going back to the flights, just to clarify, if I'm not mistaken, if you go through Quito and you stay a night in Quito, you have to go through Guayaquil to get to San Cristobal, but isn't it,
Yes.
it's just a transfer, you don't actually get off the plane in Guayaquil, correct?
That's correct. You don't get off the plane in Guayaquil. You stop for 25 to 30 minutes. This is, for the people in Guayaquil they're going to travel to San Cristobal to get on the plane, and then you take off to San Cristobal.
Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm. That's
To
right.
give everybody just an idea, sort of generally speaking, LA to Quito, if you were to do that on a non-stop flight, is about 7.5 hours. It's all going to, just to give you an idea of distance, so to speak. Obviously, depending on the airline, you might need to change planes, depending on airfare, schedule, etc. But to give you an idea, it's about 7.5 hours from the West Coast if you were to go direct without a change to Quito. And then you do your overnight, and then you continue on to the Galapagos. Preferably the next day. Right now with coronavirus, you're going to have to overnight in Quito because the Galapagos is currently open. However, what is required is to get to mainland Ecuador, you can do a PCR test within 10 days. So it's one of those destinations where it's actually really realistic to be able to get a PCR test and go on. However, the Galapagos Islands has a 96-hour window. So what you really need to do is you do the 10 days, you get to Quito, you arrive and you have an overnight build-in in Quito. It's arranged for you to take another test there when you get to Ecuador, and you basically go to a hotel that is quarantine approved. And you stay there and you relax for the night in the hotel, and within 24 hours that test result comes back, and then you meet for the 96-hour qualifying time that Galapagos Islands has. Once you're out on the Galapagos Islands, then you don't need to take a second test. So let's say you do decide to do a combo of, you do 1 week on the boat doing land focused Galapagos and then 1 week diving. As long as you don't go back to mainland Ecuador, that test that you took in Quito will cover you for both weeks, even though you're disembarking the boat, as long as you're staying within the Galapagos Islands. So I hope that helps everybody a little bit with some idea on the travels, just generally speaking, and then also currently if it was something you wanted to do right now.
I don't think I could have explained it better. Really good job.
Thank you.
The other thing too, what I think is a big thing too, is when you get there, the PCR test that they set up for you, they actually come to the hotel. You just meet them at reception. They come to the hotel to do the test swab. So you don't have to worry about going out and about in Quito. They just set it up for you to come, and then you just get to relax, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, and then the answers go, they send the results, sorry, not the answers, the results, they send them to you on your email, or we will get the results and we'll let you know. So everything is covered. We're making sure that, everything it's perfectly planned and that you have the perfect vacation.
Yeah, you guys do everything. You do a really nice concierge. I know. Everybody in the travel industry now has got like medical stuff, medical knowledge, and test this and a whole other layer to what we're doing. But you guys are making it very easy and do a really nice, full, complete concierge service and take that worry and guesswork out of it. I know it's a lot of hard work, but I applaud you for that.
The reservations department deserve an Oscar, I swear. or I don't know, a big, Anyway.
I know the difference between every kind of test right now. We're actually getting to the point where this one is this positivity, and this one's sensitivity, and like we actually know what labs what. It's yeah, it's fun time.
It's crazy. But yeah. So yeah, does anyone have another question about maybe the Galapagos or
Yeah, Lona O'Rourke.
have missed anything?
Lona, you're on.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right. Melissa, thank you so much. That was a very nice presentation.
Oh, thanks.
So I know you said that you get asked a lot about the difference between itinerary A and B. And you
Yeah.
did say that the Albatross is only on itinerary A, I think. But
A on itinerary
A, yes, sorry, did I say B? Yes,
A.
A.
Yeah. That's okay. Yeah.
But is it worth, do you think, in your opinion, doing both? I mean, would you see enough difference between A and B that it might be actually worth doing both? Or what's your opinion?
I think that I think you can never have enough of the Galapagos. Whatever is it that you see on one day and then might see something similar on another day, it's always, and I can guarantee this, it will always be something new, as in like a new experience, like different perspective. It will always have something different. I don't know how to really explain this, but I've done both itineraries, and you always see crystal clear turquoise water. You always see the white sand beach. You always see the blue-footed booby. You always see the frigates flying on top of the boat. But every day it's just a whole new thing. It's yeah, a whole new experience. So it is worth to do both itineraries. And even though you'll see similar stuff in one place or the other, I can guarantee that at the same time it's different, and it's going to be a different experience.
Okay, well, thank you. Can I just quickly ask, how about, probably not weather-wise because they're close enough together, but how about sea conditions? I mean, are they pretty similar, or?
The itineraries?
Yeah, between the two itineraries.
Yeah, it's the same weather, the same current, temperature in the water. Yeah, it's the same.
It's all the same. Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks,
No worries,
Lorna.
thank you.
All right.
Melissa, do you have a time of year that you would recommend one time a year or season over another, either because of weather or because of certain types of life that you would see?
Yeah, so if we talk about preferences here, between December and April, it's the warmest months. So the water it's warm, it's very sunny. Yeah, but if you go between between June and November, you get the less sun, a little bit more of wind, and yeah, the water is refreshing. And you will potentially see more marine life, because that's when, because of the current, it brings more food. And you probably know this, but those are the months when you see the whale shark.
Right.
Yeah, in the Galapagos. Well, more than anything, it's up north in Darwin and Wolf. But what I'm trying to say is that during those months, and because you guys are divers, and I know you want to know this, that's when you'll see more marine life.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put you on the spot here a little bit. I was reading as far as like Galapagos, I know that 20% of the marine life in the Galapagos is endemic to the Galapagos Islands. So do you have any idea sort of what species or how many species land-based can only be found in the Galapagos?
What species are what?
Like
Sorry?
how many are like endemic, like can only be found in the Galapagos, can't be found anywhere else?
That can only be found.
Like I know there's the Galapagos tortoise. Obviously, you can't
Yeah.
find the Galapagos tortoise anywhere else. And I think you've got a fur seal. Isn't the fur the
Yes,
Galapagos
that would be the
fur
sea
seal?
lion.
Yeah.
That it's endemic from, yeah.
And you've got a certain type of penguin as well. See, if they
Yeah.
go in the water, I know them.
Yeah. It's the smallest penguin in the world, I think. The blue-footed boobies and the red-footed boobies. You really did put me in this spot.
Sorry. I was actually sharing with some students today on something else, and I was sharing on Galapagos Islands. So I did a bit of homework, but all my homework's below. So it was.
Oh, I should have asked one of our naturalist guides to join. My boss is gonna be so mad at me if he's.
You know what? We'll cut off the recording early. We'll just,
It's all right. Yeah, I think not, but in really the tortoises, the blue-footed boobies, the red-footed boobies. I don't think you'll find the red-footed boobies anywhere else. And the sea lions that you mentioned, there's a flamingo. The flamingos that are in the Galapagos, they are endemic from the Galapagos, but I think I heard that they are like a subspecies, like a type from like another flamingo from another part of the world.
right.
That migrated years and years ago or something like that. But they call it the Galapagos flamingo.
Right.
And there are snakes that are endemic from there too. And yeah, that's.
I don't want to steal your job, but I Google searched it.
That's cheating.
It's cheating, but it
Please
provides the
tell
answers. So it says 20 of the 22 species of reptiles in the Galapagos are endemic.
Oh, there you go.
And then it also says that there are
Finches.
5 bird species that are endemic. It's a really long paragraph, and I'm just trying to pull the interesting pieces out. 5 endemic bird species, and it's not going to tell me about the water. I think there might only be a couple mammals. It says the Galapagos sea lion and fur seal and rice rats. Those sound cool.
A rice rat?
Yes.
Ooh.
I don't know what that is.
Google
And then
for that one, Carrie.
Two species of bats as well.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, wow. I did not know that. There you go.
Cool. Melissa, I guess I'll ask one more, and then anybody else that's got any questions, and then we'll let you go because we've been putting you on the spot a lot.
Oh, no, that's okay.
We heard of the Darwin, the Darwin Research Station that's out there. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is, what that experience is, or when you reach the Darwin Station?
For sure. So on itinerary A, you will visit the Charles Darwin Foundation or Research Station on Thursdays. And on itinerary B, you'll visit it on Saturdays. That's when we go on to Santa Cruz. And basically, well, the Charles Darwin Foundation has different projects to protect endemic species in the Galapagos. We actually have worked with them, and we have donated for the past 3 or 4 years, we have donated money for different projects. And we actually have a fund with them. And yeah, you'll visit, you'll see just different, they have like whale bones, they explain the story of the Galapagos or the history. They talk about what projects they have developed in the islands, what they support. They also have it's like, you know, when they collect different species or bones, and they like a private collection of excuse me, of just different vertebrates, yeah, that you'll be able to see that they have studied, and yeah, kind of that type of thing. It's very interesting. And then you have the typical gift shop.
All
Yeah.
important. And is that only on itinerary A? You said you don't stop at that.
It's in both. No,
Oh,
it's in both.
Okay.
Itinerary A on Thursdays and itinerary B on Saturdays.
Okay.
Yeah, and you spend there around an hour, you know, while the guide is telling you about the story of the giant tortoise and the whale that, you know, measures like 10 meters, or yeah, it explains different types of things. They have different areas where, yeah, they explain different information. And then, yeah, it's actually pretty cool place. After that, they will take you to the highlands to see the tortoises, and you'll visit the twins, which are two volcanoes that are, how do you say, like dead? Like they don't, do you know what I mean? Sorry, English. And yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful place. And then you'll return to the main town to do a bit of shopping, a bit of walking, and then you return to the vessel. Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, I hope this
Oh,
was...
no, hold on, Melissa. You don't get to go yet. We've got two more questions come up now.
Okay, that's all right.
Steve and Tricia Hoy, you're on.
Right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. If I was going to do the land-based for week 1, and I wanted to do the dive liveaboard in week 2, would I get on the liveaboard boat in the Galapagos, or do I have to go back to Guayaquil?
No, you do. We take you from one boat to the other.
Cool, that's great.
Yeah.
And when I'm flying from Guayaquil to the Galapagos, what sort of plane is that? Do we have weight restrictions on that plane?
If we have
Weight for luggage. Like I imagine Avianca is 22 kilograms from LA to Guayaquil, but I want to know about the plane from Guayaquil to the Galapagos. Is it a small plane?
It is yeah, it is a small plane, but you are allowed to take a 23 kilogram suitcase.
Okay, so if we each had a 23 kilogram suitcase, can I buy an extra suitcase for the dive gear?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. And do people do this all the time? So we might see some of the same people on the following week on the dive boat?
Yes, we do have guests that do this.
That's cool. Okay, thank you.
One week they do the diving, and then they go to the other boats and to see the best of both worlds.
Oh, indeed. I mean, the diving has a fantastic reputation. And I'd love to do the land-based first and then get underwater. So it sounds great. How much would that cost for those 2 weeks? Any idea? Approx?
So on the original theory, we charge $8,050 per person, double occupancy. Yes. And then for Galapagos Sky, which is the diving liveaboard, I'll get back to you on that one because I can't remember how much that is.
Okay, but it's approximately the same, right?
No, it's less.
Yeah, they're more like
Way less.
4 or 5
Yeah.
5,000 for a week.
Okay.
But right now, these guys have a buy one, get one 50% off. So
One person get 50% off.
yeah, just if you are a couple or a dive buddy, it helps a little bit.
Okay.
But it's an expensive itinerary, but you got a lot of permits and things like that going on in all the tours. So
and then, as I said before, everything is included. Even in the Galapagos Sky, we have beer is included. The house wine is also included. Other soft drinks. Yeah.
That's very important.
The crew is unbelievable.
You can get your money's worth depending on.
Well, I've
You're
done
not
those trips
driving, so.
before. 4 dives a day and then a bottle of wine.
Well,
Thank
but
you.
in this boat, you're not diving, so you know you can maximize that price difference a little bit.
Yeah, true.
Thank you very much, Melissa. That was great. Thanks
That's
for
okay. No
Thank you,
worries, Steve.
Steve. Jay, you are on. Thank you for waiting.
Hi,
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks. I'm interested in both the land-based, obviously, and for my wife, and the diving liveaboard for myself. And you mentioned the winter months being June through November.
Mhm.
During that period, it's the Humboldt and the Cromwell currents that come up from the south that bring out that cold water up there, correct? I think. And when that happens, that brings up a lot of the large pelagic creatures, the hammerhead
Yes,
sharks,
that's correct.
shell sharks, the rays, everything else. So that's what I'm really interested in seeing and really interested in diving. I would like to dive during that period.
Yep.
So June through November.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then on the second half of course, the trip, which would be the land-based liveaboard, we would be visiting all those islands as you had very so adaptly described. And basically, is there a difference between the winter and the summer months in the islands, other than the temperature? Because I know the water temperature varies between Darwin and all the way down south,
Yeah.
10 or 20 degrees, the water temperature does. But as far as sightseeing is concerned, I would assume that we would most likely see just about the same things during both the summer months and the winter months, maybe?
Yeah, that's correct.
No significant difference.
No, not significant difference. When it's about weather,
Mhm.
no.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Good, thanks.
That's okay.
Yeah, just so you know, Jay, sort of from a diving standpoint, you could definitely do the Galapagos year round, and it's calmer and it's a little bit warmer water temperatures if you go in, say, January, February, March. But the currents, as Melissa said earlier, you know, they pull up all those nutrients, they bring a lot more in. So if you're going, and especially if you're only going once and you want to see all the things that Galapagos is known for underwater, then you're going to want to go sort of the summer and preferably I would say the fall months, September, October, November timeframe, which means you're going to have lower water temperatures and you're going to have more current than if you were going to go, say, the first quarter of the year. But you're also going to see more of what you went there to see in the first place. So that's the kind of trade-off.
Yes, that's perfect. I dive Lake Michigan now, so I'm used to cold water, believe me.
Okay.
So that would be good. That's why I'd be interested. So thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay.
You're welcome.